The term Lightbearer is not exclusive to humans anymore, as we've seen in Witch Queen, another species wielding our light. We thought we were special, the Traveler chose us specifically, but as of late this seems to be inaccurate. Today we are going to discuss what species may next raise their first Lightbearer, the Eliksni, and who that may be at the end of this very season. So, how do you become a guardian in the first place? Are there any prerequisites? This area seems a little gray, but kind of. Ghosts are known to wander the Deadlands in search of a body to resurrect. Some ghosts find theirs without a hitch. Others go on for years and find nothing, like Pulled Pork or Glint, who eventually found Crow. The ghost gets to choose, but sometimes they feel a little spark inside them that tells them, yup, this is the right one. Maybe the Traveler gives them that feeling and they realize this is their guardian.
Guardians are fighting on Earth and beyond. Join them. Your ghost will guide you. I only hope he chose wisely.
I did. I'm sure of it. We're in this together now.
The Traveler released the Ghost, and Ghost can resurrect Lightbearers, but it seems they do have a say in who is revived next to the Traveler itself, of course. Clear evidence of this is seen back in Witch Queen with Amaru resurrecting Savathun. We thought we were the only ones, but nope, Savathun. Savathun speaks the Guardian Credo, which is first heard by the speaker during the Red War just before his death. This seems to be one of the guidelines for becoming a Lightbearer.
What is it the Guardians say?
Devotion inspires bravery. Bravery inspires sacrifice.
And
Sacrifice leads to death.
In Witch Queen, we learned the Traveler was going to choose the Hive all of those years ago. But what happened? The Witness and the Darkness took over, and they instead infected Savathun's species with those Hive worms. But now that Savathun had removed that worm and sacrificed herself, which led to her death, she was chosen like she was supposed to be millions of years ago. So that credo is important. Take a look at Aldrin, for example. This may have led to his guardian status. Devotion inspires bravery, and bravery inspires sacrifice. Aldrin Sov was devoted to Mara and the Scorn. He was brave in the search for her in the Tangled Shore and Dreaming City. I don't know if this could be seen as a sacrifice, but at that time Aldrin was corrupted by darkness. He died and later was found by Glint, who gave him the light. Back to the Eliksni though, now that we set all of that up. This season, Eido says the same thing.
I told him plainly that I will not be sheltered. As the Guardian Credo states, devotion inspires bravery, bravery inspires sacrifice. The unspoken line that follows is why I will remain on the radio.
So could the House of Light see the first Lightbearer among their ranks? Let's first start with the two obvious candidates. Eido throughout the season has been documenting the relics of Nezarec, Mithrax's past, and what Aramis is up to. This week, we learn that Aramis has been spying on her this whole time, and Eido's had enough of her father's lies. So what does she plan to do? Well, next week she says she wants to head to the pirate hideout herself in search of Aramis and the truth.
Aramis, do not stand in my way. If we meet again, I will be the last thing you see. You and that hypocrite you call a father.
She looked back to the datapad as if Aramis would speak to her again, now that Mithrax had left. But there was nothing. Eido sighed, her thoughts still racing. Aramis had said she could not turn away from her violence or her vengeance. Eido did not believe that. She could not believe it. This violence was not the Kel's spirit. Eido had to find the part of Aramis that did not rage at the past. Eido had to show the Kell of Darkness a future. Silently, the scribe of House Light began piecing together the coordinates to the next hideout herself. So I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to click away if you want. I'm going to talk about some possible spoiler speculation here based on some evidence. In the press kit released by Bungie at the beginning of this season, we see images of Eido holding a relic. This likely is a part of an upcoming cutscene, but confirms that Eido has messed up, perhaps followed these coordinates and went out there on her own. Does she feel for Aramis? Was she trying to join that side or confront her once more to speak about this future? So this could play out a couple of ways. Aramis threatened Eido in that earlier dialogue. She said if Eido stands in the way, she's not afraid to end her. So will Eido get in the way and die? Possibly, but would that lead to her becoming a Lightbearer? If you look at it, maybe Eido devoted herself to save her species and document that past as a scribe. She becomes brave to confront Aramis once more. And from here, it's a blank slate. Is there a sacrifice and a death? In my opinion, this kind of seems unlikely, but we don't know. On the other hand, here's a more interesting thought. Mithrax. Think about this, the events play out the same way, Eido leaving on her own to meet Aramis, but Mithrax joins in at the last moment and the two leaders battle it out. Will there be some type of agreement? Maybe Aramis goes away from the ways of the witness, or does Mithrax sacrifice himself to save Eido? Mithrax, devoted to House Light and his daughter. Bravery leads him to the battle, and sacrifices himself to save his daughter Eido and dies. Would this later lead Mithrax to be chosen by the Traveler and become a true leader of the Light? Like Aldrin Sov and Savathun, Mithrax also had his own darkness in the past in terms of those relics of Nezarec and messing with his own crew. If he dies, does he become the first Lightbearer of the Eliksni? This is what Mithrax has always wanted. The House Light worships the Traveler, but now he would actually have that power in his own hands. And like those lore cards from Forsaken where he ran with Guardian fire teams, he would actually be one of them this time. No longer a lost member of the Eliksni running away from that whirlwind. Now things could change for his species. Anyway, Guardians, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Some speculation and theories before we get the conclusion to this season over the next couple of weeks. Let me know your own theories down below and what other videos you would like to see in future content. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.